Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another wonderful round brought to you by Slipstream Racing. We're headed into round 7, and it's going to be Imola this time coming. The Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari, also known as our beloved Imola. One of the greatest Grand Prix circuits, founded in 1953, unchanged since 1994. We're headed to Bologna, Italy. Let's head right on over to the track and see what the drivers are all up to right now and who's faring best. 16.5 minutes-ish remaining in this qualifying session, folks. So plenty of times for the drivers to set their best times. And we just saw a little bit of what happened to Twisted Jack headed down in towards turn 1. Got bumped in the derriere, sent off into the gravel pit, but he's back up and running one more time as he comes through the following chicane, the Variante Villeneuve, with the Villeneuve chicane. And up the hill through Tosa we go. But let's go for an onboard lap really quickly here with Cody Lawrence and see what the drivers are really dealing with out on circuit. Now up the hill through Tosa we go. This will be turn 7. The right-hander, right before we get to Paratella, will be turn 8. Paratella, the Pirates corner, being turn 9, is right here. Chuck it in as fast and as far as you can to the outside curbing. Now the plummet down the hill into Acqua Minerale. Two distinctive braking zones there. A quick pump of the brakes when you send it in, and then another quick pump of the brakes and 3 downshifts up until you come to this chicane. This will be Variante Alta, the high chicane, coming down the hill through turns 14 and 15, and then the little kink is going to be turn 16. Ravazza 1 will be this fast and flowy corner, and then Ravazza 2 with another quick pump of the brakes will be Ravazza 2. And Cody Lawrence is going to send it all the way out to the left-hand side before cutting it across the inside before we get to the timing line. And where will that put Cody Lawrence with the C5 compound tires? Not good enough for this session, it appears. Must have invalidated a lap somewhere, or just not set a time indicative to his best. Turns 1, 2, 3. Variante Tamburello will be 2, 3, 4. Now we're already up into Variante Villeneuve, and then up the hill into Tosa we go one more time. Checking in with Cody Lawrence as he comes in through Acqua Minerale via the TV camera. He seemingly got everything calm, cool, and collected. A little bit of an overdrive moment there. Or overturn moment. Oversteer. My goodness, my brain is not working. I apologize, folks. It's a little bit hot out here in California the past couple days, and the dehydration is getting to me. But the drivers better stay hydrated as well, because it's 38 degrees Celsius. Track temperature 29 degrees is the ambient. And we've got optimum track now. 99% is the optimum track with a 4 kilometers per hour headwind coming down in towards turn 1. Cody Lawrence does find a time indicative of P1. A 1:14.412 will be the best that he has so far. 13 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in this qualifying session, folks. Again, plenty of time for the drivers to set times that they are more familiar with. Ryan Earl in P2, 2/10 back. Jaden Neal in P3. Anand Trivedi in P4. Pete Rader in 5th. Trent H in 6th. Twisted Jack in 7th. Jake DeShong. I believe that's Jake DeShong. I'm getting my Jakes mixed up. And then we have Pete Trivedi. I assume that'll be Anand Trivedi's little brother. And Ryan Earl with a 1:14.111 find in UPB up at the top of the charts. Amadei in 10th. Mac Piermain, glad to see him back in attack in the number 4. And Pete Trivedi finds the hardest part of the track coming through Ravazza 2. Twisted Jack seemingly doing okay right now. Twisted Jack with a 1:15.730. Jaden Neal with a 1:14.513. Pete Raider coming down the hill through Aqua Minerale now. And that looks like a good run. Did not invalidate the lap by going over track limits. Piermain with a 1:15.625. That'll be a new personal best for himself, at least during this session. Pete Raider with a 1:14.639, a driver who's been showing some pretty good pace as of late. Raider took home 3rd place last week at Monza, a 2nd place at Interlagos. The man has only been on a way of improvement since then. He's looking for another podium here tonight. I could only presume go for that triple hat trick that is so coveted here. Cody Lawrence took the first hat trick of the season, getting 3 P1s at Silverstone Suzuka and then Spa-Francorchamps, but lost it at the Red Bull Ring. The streak had to come to an end sometime, where he came in 2nd place. And Interlagos regained it, but at Monza did not, where we had actually Anand Trivedi take P1 with I believe it was a single stop strategy, getting it to the very end at Monza. And hopefully he has some tricks up his sleeves with 10 minutes left to go, because he's 5th place right now, driving the number 12 Petronas car. And who can forget Trent H getting stuck in the gravel trap at Parabolica, I believe. Final corner, and then getting bumped in the rump by Cody Fowers to get him rolling again. To go basically from last place to 4th place. It was pretty amazing. Matt says in the Slipstream YouTube chat that is Jake DeShong. Also, the 2 Trivedis are not related to each other. Very interesting. And Cody Runs Fast says, "Go my favorite F1 driver." So cheers out there from Cody and Matt, who are not in this race, but we still have 11 people on the grid. That is super surprising, with 2 of the most regular participants of Slipstream Racing out for the count. We still have pretty much a full grid of Slipstream drivers. This is pretty phenomenal. Love to see the community grow. Love to see the driver pool grow as more and more people get involved with Slipstream Racing. And if you want to get involved as well, check out the link in the description of the video below, where you can check out Slipstream Racing Discord and find yourself caught on camera making all the same mistakes that I would make, but someone just talking about them. I'm just jesting, but if you want to be involved in some of the greatest F1 action on Assetto Corsa, come join us at Slipstream Racing. It is a phenomenally amazing time, and the drivers always have someone to compete with from the tippy top, with your Ryan Earl, Anand Trivedi, Cody Lawrence up at the tip of the spear, or if you're a little further down, Pete Raider, Jaden Neal, a couple of tenths off the pace, or even if you're 1.5 to 3 seconds off the pace, you're gonna have someone to compete with here at Slipstream Racing. And I think that's one of the most fundamental things about it. And everybody competes at the same level of respect for each other as well. If you want to race hard wheel-to-wheel action, you're going to find it here at Slipstream. If you want to have a casual race, giving each other some Slipstream back and forth, and participating in a couple DRS battles, you're going to have that as well. But everybody respects each other the same way. It's not there's no huge variance in the amount of respect that other people give each other, if that makes any sense. Everybody treats each other like family here at Slipstream Racing. At least that's what I've heard from the drivers, and at least that's what I hear whenever I jump into the voice channel where all the drivers are typically hanging out. And apologies are made for actual mistakes, and maybe some replay reviews need to happen for when drivers are not so agreeable about their mistakes, but they happened here at Slipstream Racing. I think that's what promotes the level of skill week after week, time after time, like my girl Cindy Lauper always said. Ryan Earl tops the charts with a 1:14.11. Anand Trivedi in P2. Cody Lawrence in P3. Jaden Neal in 4th. Pete Rader in 5th. Trent H in 6th. Piermain in 7th. Jack in 8th. Ahmed A in 9th. Jake in 10th. Pete Trivedi in 11th. And of course myself in 12th place, driving the DXB9 safety car. Cody Runs Fast in the YouTube chat says, Trent still owes me his prize money from last week from saving him from the sandbox. That's absolutely true. Still one of the most comical and gentlemanly things I've ever seen happen in a race. That was pretty crazy and very generous of you, Cody, to save him from that sandbox of death. Cody Lawrence tops the charts, finds himself just 32 thousandths ahead of Ryan Earl. At the tip of the spear, it is very nip and tuck. We'll give you an update on the ballast here in just a few moments' time. Looks like timing has frozen. Let me refresh the page. Cody Lawrence racing with 35 kilograms. Ryan Earl with 15. Jaden Neal with 31 kilograms. And that'll be all the ballast that I see so far. Take a look at the championship standings. Cody Lawrence in P1 with 144 points. Next is going to be Jaden Neal with 87 points. Pete Rader in 3rd place. Surprise, surprise. 10 points ahead of Ryan Earl with 2 DNSs. Pete Rader with only 1 DNS, 82 to 72 respectively. Trent H in 5th place with 70 points. Anand Trivedi in 6th place right now with 67 points. Twisted Jack with 7th place secured, 51 points to his name. Matt Chevry in 8th with 37, 33 for Colin Edwards. James Shorter with 10, Cody Fowers in 11th, Hokie in 12th, Toast in 13th, Spanini in 14th, and Jake in 15th. Piermain will call it quits for this qualifying session. He's disqualified for teleporting back to pit lane. I'm an A with a 1:15.927 right now. 1.848 off the good. But he's out there looking to improve. Got 8/10 in his pocket right now as he comes through the high chicane down the hill into Ravazza 1. Is Trent H now. Trent H nearly gaining half a second on his PB. This might put him in the 2nd row of the grid, right where he needs to be to secure some more points. Trent gets to the line, 6th place, just absolutely so close to pulling a rabbit out of a hat, excuse me. Wow, 6/10 off the pace, just a couple more tenths than he would have had it if he'd not botched it coming out of Ravazza 2. Ryan Earl gaining around a 10.5 right now. This will be good enough for provisional pole. Ryan Earl gets to the line, and does he have it secured? No, he does not. A 1:14.189 on that previous lap, but it just wasn't good enough for pole position. And a little frustration comes out from the driver as he does not get that pole position time that was so coveted, that he believes he deserved, that he believed that he had in the bag. Oh, just gut-wrenching to see the frustration come out of the drivers like that by chucking it into the wall. Trevidi. Oh no. Coming through the high chicane. Don't know if he clipped the curb or not, but it seems to be a troublesome spot for P. Jaden Neal able to get an extra bonus lap out of this one, as he crossed the line with 35 seconds remaining. Jaden Neal is only gaining around a tenth and a bit right now. Not even enough to get him past Anand Trivedi. When he gets to the line, how much time does he have? 0.3 of a second in his pocket. Is able to get past Trivedi. 14.202 bumps Trivedi back to 4th place. Now, depending on how the grid is set up, that could be a curse or a blessing, having the inside line being the preferable line in towards turn 2 and 3. The first chicane of the Tamburello. And Trivedi crosses the line with no significant improvement there. Cody Lawrence could only do better than his previous best now, as he rounds out Ravazza and comes down pit road to conclude his attempts. It'll be Cody Lawrence in P1, driving the number 11 for Cadillac Racing. Ryan Earl in P2, the number 14 with a 1:14.111. Is going to be just 32 thousandths away from Cody Lawrence in P1. Jaden Neal in 3rd place, driving the number 6 Porsche Penske car. Anand Trivedi driving the Petronas number 12 AMG, and he is going to be in 4th. Pete Rader in 5th place, showing his stripes right now for the Jumpman Tar Heels, number 23. He's going to be starting from 5th. In 6th place, we have Trent H. trying to work his way forward and pull out some Houdini magic and potentially have a cleaner race than he had last week, where he got bumped in the rump and sent into the kitty litter. Hopefully he doesn't have that same incident happen again for the number 84. Ahmed A., the number 7 in 7th place, aptly put, the 1:15.226. Mac Piermain driving the number 4 McLaren, 115.625 in 8th place. Twisted Jack in 9th position. Number 5 is in driving a 115.730, being his fastest lap. Then we have Jake DeShong driving the number 18 Aston Martin, and he's going to be driving a 116.488 out of 10th place. Then we have P. Trividi, no relation to the other Trividi, and he's going to be driving the number 16 Ferrari. He's going to be all black and yellow. 117.585 being his best lap time, and he can only work his way forward from here. Try to keep it clean. Just waiting for the drivers to get all gridded up, and we will be taking the green flag in just a few moments. Stand by. And with the drivers gyrating in their cockpits right now, anxious and rearing, ready to go, waiting for the red lights to become illuminated. Lights are on, and green, 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 away we go, and there's a bump in the rump as the number 4 of Mac Piermain was not ready to quite get going there. It'll be nip and tuck to the inside line for Ryan Earl. Can he get one done on Cody Lawrence early on in the race? No, but the number 6 of Jaden Neal tumbles to the back of the field really quickly, coming through Tamburello, and he goes way down back to 10th place. That'll promote everybody else up forward, and Untrevidi up into 3rd place already. Ahmed A up into 6th place. Pete Rader into 5th. Trent H into 4th. This is a lick your lips kind of battle. Into the chicane, the high chicane for the first time of asking. Looks like everybody's doing okay. No, Pete Trevidi, Jaden Neal, and Twisted Jack get involved in a huge incident at Aqua Minerale. It looks like Jaden Neal is the least worried about them. and gets off and running one more time. Pete Trevidi behind Twisted Jack, but no, not for long, as they're going to go completely side by side for this little battle here. Down the hill we go. Pete Trevidi trying to wiggle and worm his way by Twisted Jack. Jack has to back out of it down the hill into Ravazza 1, back out of it into Ravazza 2 as well. I think he's just not quite sure of the speed that Pete Trevidi is going to be carrying through some of these corners, and being a little bit more cautious than not. 5-second penalty getting applied to Pete Trevidi's time for use of the DRS, the drag reduction system. He was not within 1 second. There goes for a move up the inside line is Twisted Jack, but no, can't go for a move as the door was completely shut. Twisted Jack gets a 5-second penalty for use of DRS himself, and Trent H gets it wrong at Tosa. And he is on the inside line, must have pirouetted once he mounted the curves. He falls down into 8th place. And Ahmed A, wow, thrusts his way forward up into 4th place. I believe he started in 6th, if I'm not mistaken. 2 positions gained over 2 laps, a very good shake and bake for him. Up at the front of the grid, it looks like Ryan Earl is slipping back just a little bit. Cody Lawrence doing his Cody Lawrence thing. 0.6 of a second is the gap between P1 and P2. Trevidi slowly slipping back himself, driving that much slower than the cars in front of him. 0.2 is the difference on the previous lap, so we have about a 0.2 gap, a 0.2 gap between the front 3 runners. Ahmed A with a 1:18.724 on that previous lap. Pete Rader, last lap around was a 1:21. I imagine he's going a little bit faster than that now. 5-second penalty for Pete Trevidi. Mac Piermain. And where is he at? He's at Tamburello. Falls down into 10th place. We still have this epic little battle between Twisted Jack and Pete Trevidi. Twisted Jack has the run, looks up the hill, trying to find a way by, goes for the outside line, coming down in towards Piratella, but can't get enough momentum to actually make the move happen. Looks again to the inside line for Aqua Minerale, returns to the racing line, follows single file. Drivers behind Cody Lawrence have decided to pick up the pace. We might have to go and switch away from this epic little battle between the 2 drivers, and then Trevidi sets the fastest lap of the race. 2 purple sectors, 1, and no, excuse me, Ryan Earl has fastest sector 1 and sector 3 time, but Anand Trevidi with the fastest sector 2 time tops the charts with a 1:17.896. And Ahmed A. Oh, Anand Trevidi slip and slide there again. Lost a position to Ahmed A. Loses another one to Pete Rader. Flying a little too close to the sun here at Imola, and I think his tires have already started slipping away from him onto the C3 compound for the weekend. That'll be 4 gained for Amade. Excuse me, he started in 7th position, worked his way up through the field on 4 positions after 4 laps of completion. That's a good running for Ahmed A. Trevidi's down 1 position off the good right now. Jake up 4 positions, started himself in 10th place, worked his way forward as well. Nothing but clear skies here in Bologna, Italy, for Ryan Earl behind him. Of course, he's got Cody Lawrence in front of him, just a half second up the road. Assaulting those curbs, coming down the hill. But here we have a big incident, and that'll be Twisted Jack getting around Mac Pierman. Pierman just got it wrong and was caught in the middle of the track. DRS wide open for Ryan Earl, fastest lap of the race, 1:17.557. As the fuel load comes down, the drivers end up getting a little bit quicker and quicker, but it's not enough for him to get one done on Cody Lawrence just yet. Pierman, Twisted Jack battling it out, coming into the high chicane. Oh, bit of oversteer coming out of Tosa. Almost loses the rear end, but manages to keep it collected for now. Beautiful shots here at Imola, the Autodromo Internazionale di Enzo e Dino Ferrari. That was P. Trevidi caught off on the side of the road. Twisted Jack comes down pit lane for his first of the evening. That will send him a lap down from the leaders. And there he is coming out of pit lane right behind the battling Cody Lawrence and Ryan Earl. Jaden Neal and Jake DeShong battling it out now. Switch over the tower to intervals so we can see Jaden Neal and Jake DeShong battle it out and get past each other. Jaden Neal in the number 6, recovering from that earlier incident. He works his way up the road a substantial bit before the next corner at Tosa. Mac Pierman comes down pit road. Lots of early pit stop calls so far. That'll be Trent H., Mac Pierman, and Twisted Jack all taking their first of the evening. $117.85, $117.83 for the drivers at the front. 118.1 for Ahmed A. But he has 8.3 seconds back. Pete Rader, the next driver down the order, in 4th place. 4.8 back from Ahmed A. Anand Trivedi, 2.2 back from Pete Rader. Mac Pierman has a collision with a wall. That'll be a DNF for Pierman, it would seem. Trivedi still has not quite recovered from that earlier tumble down the order that he partook in. Last lap around being a 118.1 compared to a 117.7 and a 117.9 from the drivers in front of him. And Trent H gets it wrong at Tosa, and that seems to be catching a few drivers out for contention right now. Oh no, and he's backed it up into the kitty litter, and Cody Lawrence is not here to save him this time. And that'll be the second DNF of the evening. Trent H falling victim to the kitty litter 2 races in a row. This time I don't think he was pushed. I think he just left all on his own. Trividi, the number 16 Ferrari, driving all by his lonesome now, has nothing to lose, only positions to gain once he gets past the lap of Trent H. They'll be up into 9th position. And there it is, Trividi into 9th place in front of Trent H. and Mac Pierme. Whoa, side-by-side action between Ryan Earl and Cody Lawrence going into Tosa. Tried to turn in, but Cody was running a little bit wide there. And I'm not sure who's to blame, if Ryan Earl just backed out of a gap that existed, or if Cody Lawrence was shoving him that way. But either way, that'll be a move attempt done and dusted. Ryan Earl trying to get past Cody here at Tosa just did not work out. Trividi in 5th, Jaden Neal trailing in 6th by 3.6 seconds. Waiting for the rear wing to open up on Ryan Earl's car as we approach Ravazza 1. Ravazza 2 completed. There's the rear wing opening up from the car in the rear. Again, I don't think he'll be fast enough in a straight line to catch up to Cody Lawrence. Top speed in a straight line, even with the DRS, he is not faster than Cody Lawrence. Lawrence's top speed is 321.8 versus a 319.0 in a straight line coming through turn 1. And then Trividi comes down pit road. He's going to dismount off the C3 compound and try a different compound, I would normally imagine. Try to run to the end of this event. Trividi comes out of the pits in 7th position onto the C4 compound that the rest of the field is on, so he will not be running to the end of the endurance race. And I called it an endurance race on purpose because man oh man are these Formula cars something to work your wheels with. 41 laps must feel like a lifetime behind the wheel of these things, with all the downshift and hard braking zones that you run into. And Trividi has another big lockup coming through Acqua Minerale, but manages to collect it this time. A huge lockup of the brakes during the second compression zone. Almost sent him sideways into the barriers. Coming down into Ravazza 1 again from Ryan Earl. No, excuse me, Paratella, and this is Acqua Minerale. Oh, Jaden Neal on the number 6 Porsche Penske. Getting it wrong. Where are we on track? Right before Tosa, so this will be Villeneuve chicane. Backs it up right across the track, gets stuck in the other end of the kitty litter, trying to work his way forward, gets passed by Jake DeShong. And Jaden Neal gets a DNF disqualification for teleporting to the pit lane, and that'll be the 3rd victim to the kitty litter tonight. It seems like we're to be glued on this duet right now for the remaining 29 laps of this event. as it seemingly looks like these two can't stop, won't stop, and they're going to keep on pushing themselves for the rest of this 41 lap race. Pete Trevidi crosses the line with a 123.887 on that previous lap, running the C5 compound. Climbs up into 8th position overall, past the DNFers. Ryan Earl having a bit of a drift through the high chicane on exit. And I think that's a sign that the tires are finally fading away from it. Cody doesn't stop. He won't stop either. .118.3 to a 118.4. Ryan Earl trails by that 10th. Although Pete Rader and Ahmed A are close together on track right now, separated by around 2 and a bit seconds, it looks like the lap times are going on the A's way. 118.278 on that previous lap compared to a 118.6 from Rader. And then Jake with a 120 on the previous lap. Looks like 117s are being pulled out from Trevidi. Except not on that lap, as he was about 5 seconds off the pace. Oh, and Pete Trevidi is disqualified for teleporting down to pit lane. And Anant Trevidi having an incident at Tamburello. Villeneuve chicane, excuse me. But he is up and moving once more. Falls very far back from Jake DeShong in 5th. Another big wiggle from Ryan Earl coming out of Tosa. Through the Pirates' corner and into Aqua Minerale, he's looking okay. A bit of an undulation and a kiss of the kitty litter there will really hurt his charge. Coming into the high chicane, Variante Alta. And a big moment for Ryan Earl as he put a wheel onto the grass while he was braking and sent himself sideways coming into Ravazza 1. And the lap time's definitely showing how many mistakes he made on that previous lap. 118.4 to a 118.9 from Ryan Earl. Ahmed A actually keeping pace with the drivers in front of him. 118.5 out of him. And then there are only 7 drivers remaining. 4 DNFs so far. I think the most I've seen out of any slipstream race on the calendar so far. The kitty litter definitely claiming its victims tonight. Both leaders of the event coming in on lap 16's conclusion. I'll promote, and Pete Rader also coming down pit road on that same lap. Ahmed A promoted into first place, and a huge gap between Ryan Earl and Cody Lawrence, almost 2 seconds now. Both drivers onto the C3 compound though. Ryan Earl will bring that gap down to 1.3 now. Still too far back to get an advantage from the drag reduction system. Ahmed A comes down pit road on lap 17. Goes back into third place overall. Pete Rader in fourth on the C3. Jake on the C3 in fifth. Anand Trivedi on sixth place in the C4 compound. C4 compound for Twisted Jack also running in seventh place. And those are your remaining drivers of Imola. Definitely a battle of attrition here tonight on the Italian soil. I think I'm more surprised that we haven't seen more track limits violations. Of course, the track limits being the red, white, and green stripes here at the Imola circuit, aka don't tread on Italy, or don't tread over Italy and you won't get penalized. But I guess the gravel traps doing their job of keeping everybody honest. Checking in with the rest of the field, it'll be Ahmed A driving for Team Alpine, driving the number 7. .3 back will be Pete Rader in 4th place, driving for Team Jumpman Tar Heels. Of course, in the number 23. Actually see Ahmed A just nearly up the road, right there in that pink little speck on the screen. Ryan Earl pops out the best lap of the race with a 1:16.692, around 0.2 faster than Cody on that previous lap. Pete Rader about a tenth and a bit quicker than Ahmed A. Both drivers running 0 kilograms of ballast. Pete Rader really having to pray for a mistake out of Ahmed to get third place clinched right now. I don't think anything else is going to give him a better opportunity to catch up because the pace is so close. 1:16.7 to a 1:16.9 from the front runners. There it is again, just about a tenth and a bit. He's chomping away. Pete Rader doing the best that he can to stay within spitting distance of Ahmed in front of him. Jake, the only driver that has not taken a pit stop so far. And Jake is on the C3 compounds, running around 120s. Ryan Earl just getting past the back marker that is Anand Trivedi in 6th place. Amazing to call 6th place a back marker so soon. We're only 23 laps into it. And there goes Ahmed A. Backwards, promotes Pete Rader. Where is Ahmed A right now? I am not seeing him on track. And he is disqualified for teleporting to pit lane. That will promote Jake DeShong, Pete Rader, and the rest of the field forwards. And I was saying that Pete Rader was praying for a mistake out of Ahmed A. Well, I think the prayers worked. Definitely the most DNFs I've seen out of any slipstream event so far. 5 being the charge. Cody Lawrence still running in P1, gapping to 1.6 seconds to Ryan Earl, aka Flip. I think more prayers being unanswered. Ryan Earl hoping that Cody Lawrence has a mistake bequeath him. I don't think that's going to be a possibility right now. Trevidi keeping up, though. Also down into the 116s. Twisted Jack comes down pit road, I believe, for his second of the night. Yes, this will be his second pit stop. Trevidi also, news to me, has taken 2 pit stops already. Back on the C3 compound. I don't think he'll be able to run it to the end of the race. The temperature looks to have risen by just 1 degree ambient wise. We're now up to 30 degrees Celsius and 39 being the track temperature. Jake DeShong coming down pit road. This will be his first stop of the night. And let's see if he comes out in front of or behind Trevidi. Squeal of the brakes and tires. Jake DeShong in 4th place, just rolling out of pit lane now. If Trevidi can stay close enough to the leaders, he might get past during the blue flags. And Trevidi does get by sneakily by Jake. Due to the blue flag rules here at Slipstream Racing, Jake pulled over well to the side, but otherwise would not have, and he would have battled it out with Trevidi. Nothing but blue skies behind Jake DeShong now. Ryan Earl, Anand Trevidi, and then Jake. Jake onto the C4 compounds. Driving the Aston Martin number 18. The man with nothing to lose by going for the fastest lap right now would be Pete Rader. 1:17.5 for him. He's got a 21-second gap to the cars in front and a 56-second gap to the cars behind. Easily able to take a free pit stop. Lawrence, Ryan Earl, Anand Trevidi, and Jake DeShong nowhere in sight despite being on the C4 compound. Maybe just hoping to get by during the pit stop cycle when Anand Trevidi has to go make his mandatory stop. 1:16, 1:16, 1:16. For that trio of drivers, although Trevidi is not on the lead lap technically. And then Trevidi pulls out a purple sector 1. Orange for sector 2. Here's Jake DeShong. Coming through the high high chicane. He's already 11 seconds back from Trividi. Trividi will get a free pit stop out of this towards the end of this stint, depending on when he takes his last pit stop of the event. And Trividi unlaps himself from the Aston Martin, number 14 of Ryan Earl. Unleashes the beast and is going to chase down Cody Lawrence to unlap himself again. Trividi got passed again by Ryan Earl. Ooh, and Trividi has a big moment right before Acqua Minerale. Those tires are begging to be changed at this point. Battling has thrown Ryan Earl back 6.1 seconds. With just 11 laps left to go, I definitely don't think there's enough time for Ryan to do anything to Cody Lawrence at this event. Jake chopping away at lap times, trying to catch back up to Trividi, who keeps on making mistakes. I think the man might just be pushing too hard right now. We'll have to make another pit stop to make it to the end. I believe he will have to take another pit stop. Lap times right now, Trividi running around 117s compared to Jake's 119s. If those C3s haven't fallen off already, imagine that they will soon. The Jumpman Tar Heels F1 team running a pretty quiet race right now. He's done a lot to shake and bake his way up the ladder. He's 21 seconds off the good of the leaders, Brian Earl and then Cody Lawrence, 6 seconds up the road from there. The car you're seeing in front of him is going to be Jake the Tank Deshong. Jake running awfully close to Pete Rader right now. Looks like they're separated by around 2 seconds or so. Pete Rader's running around 117.3 as compared to Jake's 119. Expect him to pull over and lead over in the gentlemanly-like fashion here shortly. Twisted Jack, another driver that's had a pretty quiet event so far with just 8 laps remaining. Jetman Tar Heels following in the slipstream, plus the application of the DRS will get him around Jake Deshong relatively easily there through turn 1 and on the entrance towards turn 2. It's a done deal. Give some Imola fun facts for you folks. Track length of 3.0 miles or 4.9 kilometers. It was founded in 1953, unchanged from 1994, located in Bologna, Italy, my favorite type of lunch meat. 19 corners, 8 to the right, 11 to the left. Elevation change of 34 meters or 111 feet. Imola, before it became a permanent circuit, its layout was made up of public roads, which explains its old-school flowing nature with elevation changes that are pretty dramatic. Of course, Imola is infamous for the 1994 San Marino Grand Prix, where Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger lost their lives in tragic crashes. This led to major safety reforms in Formula One following those incidences. Before it became fully dedicated to car racing, Imola hosted MotoGP events from 1960s until 1999. However, safety concerns for motorcycle racing led to its removal from the calendar. One of the old chicanes here at Imola was named Variante Bassa Dino Ferrari, honoring Enzo Ferrari's son. While it no longer exists, still remains a cool piece of racing history. And Untrevidi keeps on pushing, but he will come in for the fastest lap of the race, I believe, is what he's trying to do. Every additional point helps in this championship, but he does fall privy to losing a position to Jake Deschamps. He's going to have 5 seconds to make up right now. And I wonder if that's due to a botched pit stop, because he did have a little bit of a lead, unless the pit stop really does take that long here. Lap 40 of 41 underway. Cody Lawrence leads by a whopping 9.4 seconds. Pete Rader in third place. Deshong in fourth. Trevidi in fifth. Twisted Jack in sixth. And then Ahmed A in seventh, the first of the DNFers. Then P. Trevidi, no relation. Jaden Neal, Trent H, and Mac Piermain. Trevidi still pushing really hard. Final lap, 1.6 seconds to make up. He is storming the field on the C5 compound. Cody Lawrence has made no mistakes thus far. Has led from the green to checkered flag, coming through Rivatsa 2 for the final time of Aspen. The checkered flag will wave front of Cody Lawrence, and that'll be first place for him. Ryan Earl in second place. And we'll switch over to our battle between Jake and Anand Trivedi, but it's already concluded. Pete Rader, 25 seconds behind, will claim third. Anand Trivedi was able to get by Jake Deshong on the final lap of the event. Trivedi has Purple Sector 1 and Purple Sector 2. By golly, he already has the fastest lap of the race on the C3 compound. But to secure the deal, Anand Trivedi will clinch fourth place and the fastest lap with a 1:15.862. Jake Deshong in fifth place, and Twisted Jack coming through the high chicane next. For AIEA Racing, the Canadian team will bring home P6. And the checker flag waves for the final driver to cross the line. And that'll be all she wrote, folks. As always, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for staying tuned. It's been a pleasure to be your host. I'm Sagar Bakshi, aka The Real High, and this has been an event at Imola brought to you by Slipstream Racing. Join us next week, same time, same place, where we will be racing around the circuit of Bahrain. Come join us for another exciting championship run, and if anybody can thwart Cody Lawrence's championship title, it'll be you. Let's see you on track next week. Same time, same place. Have a great night, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Bye-bye.